Oh, thanks, pass me. Not gonna have the usual solid 2 minutes of me stumbling around like a fucking idiot trying to remember exactly what it was I wanted to do. Looks like we're going to the polyhedron. From what I remember, there was like a bunch of shit to do today, and I sort of had to rule out some stuff. I accidentally fucked up one quest by the looks of it, which was helping out Lara without resorting to giving her extensive firearm access. So we're just not doing that one. So the remaining options were to try and speak to Khan Kane on Vincent's behalf, and Victor's behalf, not Vincent's behalf. That's the wrong name entirely. And also to go and look into some things again back at the Termitary, I think. But this one's here, so this is the one we're going to do first. And if we've got time, we'll get the other one done too, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Lost half this day to bullshit, basically. So options are a little bit more limited than I'd like them to be. It's fine though, it's fine though. Honestly, like, losing half a day is kind of bad because it means we miss out on a lot of content, but also it's kind of good because it gets us closer to the end without dying, you know what I mean? The fortress is off limits, Khan's orders. You carry sand dirt all over your snakeskin coat. I'm a doctor, you can rely on my coat being dirt-free. Oh, okay. I brought you important news. Tell us, we will tell the others. I need to get inside. You will not. The only person we trust is Maria, our sister and patroness. Khan's word. You do not look like her messenger. What proof do you need? Say the password. I want to see the agate pit. Hello.
Clara will bring Simon back? Those fools. She's aiming for this place.
Bachelor Dankovsky, you were quite eager to examine the polyhedron, weren't you? Indeed I was. I'm ready to negotiate with you now. And I'm ready to hear you out. We need weapons. Artillery, I presume. Kindly spare me your sarcasm. I need several military rifles, ammo included, obviously. I've been told they are long range and very precise. May I inquire as to why you need them? Aglaya is closely in touch with Block, isn't she? No, as far as I understand, they hate each other. So far, each of them has been pretending the other doesn't exist at all. Well, Block has to be communicating with someone, right? Has he been told as to how many children there are here in the polyhedron? If you can insist, or if you insist in fact, I can actually mention it to him when I get the chance. Just so that you know. Oh, so the two of you are on equal terms? No, I wouldn't say so. If Block finds out there are more than 1,000 of us in here, he'll think twice before stomping the place, or storming the place in fact. If he finds out we're armed, it'll only take a couple of shots to convince him, wouldn't you agree? You're going to bluff, aren't you? I am. If you get us the rifles, we'll let you into the polyhedron. Actually, kick it up a notch. We'll show you the boon that fate has granted us in detail. Sounds tempting. Well, I processed your request, and I'll be back with the news. Where the fuck am I going to get rifles from, though? 5? 5? I want to get into the polyhedron, like, quite badly. I'm really intrigued by the place. I can never remember how to get out of here either. Yo, how do I get out of here? Who do I talk to get out of here? Yeah, I'm really interested in doing this quest, but 5 rifles? I don't have 1 rifle. If I had 1 rifle, I would be keeping it, because I need a rifle. Genuinely, how do I get out of here? I've had this problem several times at this point, and Okay, we interact with that bit of floor, specifically, the bit with the drawing of the polyhedron on it. I guess that makes some sort of sense in some fucking crazy-ass conspiracy theorist brain cell somewhere. That adds up and makes perfect normal human sense, but to me that didn't quite seem like the obvious answer to leaving the room, but there we go. So that area isn't the polyhedron, I take it. That's like the entryway to the polyhedron, I guess. Is it? Like, I assumed that getting in there was the polyhedron, but quite obviously there isn't 1,000 kids in there, right? There's like 4. So, yeah, there must be like a deeper level. There must be extra polyhedron within that that you can get to from there. 5 rifles, man. I mean, I guess we'll go back and talk to Victor and tell him that that's what his son demanded. I guess maybe Maria might be able to help us out as well. Like, if they've got something they can point us at in order to acquire the 5 rifles, then fair enough. But if the game is just like, hey, I hope you've bought 5 rifles from Bad Grief at this point, because I'm pretty certain that's the only place I could have realistically gotten. If that's what the game's doing, then the game can fuck off, frankly. Speaking of the game fucking off. Alright, we're gonna speedrun it. It'll be fine. Apologies if I keep sniffing down the microphone, by the way. Hay fever is finally upon me. I was complaining a lot about the fact that winter was dragging to a pretty insane degree this year, and I stand by that. Like, it was -2 in May, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm not a big summer guy at all. I was kind of hoping that the fact that winter essentially lasted so fucking long, or at least spring was so cold, you know, I guess. I don't know what determines what is winter and what is spring, whether it's a weather thing or if it's just an allotted set of time and sometimes you just have cold springs. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. But the point is, I was hoping that because the cold weather lasted that long, that meant we wouldn't really get much of a summer this year. I was really hoping that maybe summer just wasn't a thing we were going to have, and that maybe all the plants would just die and we'd be living in a barren wasteland where I'm no longer affected by hay fever. I mean, the human race would probably go extinct pretty rapidly if we lost all the plants, but you know, that's the sacrifice I'm willing to take in order to not be sneezing and snuffling and constantly rubbing my eyes. It's really annoying though, because I'm really I'm a very bad human being. I'm not amazing at operating like a normal human being should, and as such, I just can't take hay fever medicine because I'm like super susceptible to anything that makes you drowsy. Ready to hear you out, artillery. Quiet. No, if you insist, wouldn't say so. Going to bluff. Sounds tempting. Off we go. And then touch this bit of floor. Speedrun, eh? But yeah, so basically, if I take hay fever medicine, then I'm just out of it. It's really bad, like... I mean, obviously not to like an extent that I can't function as a human being, but like, I've been at work and felt my eyelids getting heavy because I've taken hay fever medicine that day, you know what I mean? Like, genuinely been... I've never actually fallen asleep at work, but I've been concerned that I'm going to, let's put it that way. And, I don't know, I'd rather just sneeze a bit than have to put up with my consciousness fading on a regular basis. But no, man, I suck with stuff like that. I remember when I broke my arm a few years back, 10 years back now at this point, I was given codeine for it, and I'd never had codeine before. And I have to admit that those tablets were far worse than anything than the effects of having a broken arm. They knocked me out harder than not being able to use my right arm ever could. You know what I mean? My functions were limited far more by the codeine than from only having one arm. Oh, what the fuck, man? I thought I was killed by a firebomb lad last time. I thought that's what happened. I didn't realise what actually happened was I was killed by the flamethrower lad because apparently my infection has got too bad. That's helpful information. Apparently it gets that bad just in the process of walking up the polyhedron and back, because it's not that bad at this point, I don't think. I'm actually intrigued. Is it that bad at this point? Okay, yeah, it's that bad at this point. So we're going to have to deal with the infection as well, because otherwise we're not going to be able to get around town. And thankfully we have means of dealing with the infection, but it's gonna cost me, I think. It's going to cost me to do that. I have to use quite a few of my my bandages. Oh boy, okay, third time's the charm then. This time we're getting it right. I should probably save once I get back down from the polyhedron, eh? Once we're back into hostile territory, because let's face it, nothing bad is going to happen. Hopefully. In this particular specific part of the game, just going up and down this tower and talking to a kid. nothing is going to kill me in that part, but it sure is a hell of a lot of time to invest every time. So maybe we just save once we're done with this. That seems sensible at this point. Especially since there's a very good chance I will just take my infection medicine and immediately drop dead on the spot. That's always a concern. Fucking hell, man. I really wasn't expecting to be over 10 minutes into this video already and still just be going up and down the polyhedron. I wasn't expecting this to be my afternoon, to be honest with you, but here we are. Here it is. Sometimes life has a way of turning out unexpected. And not in a good way. Hello, Mr. Doghead. You can rely on... Wait, nope, that was the wrong one. Important news, need to get inside. What proof do you need? A gate pit. You.
Clara will...
Indeed I was. Ready to hear you out. Artillery. May inquire. No, if you insist, I wouldn't say so. You're going to bluff. Sounds tempting. Touch floor panel. Floor panel. Not poor flannel. Not plore flannel. Floor panel. It's not a tongue twister. It's not a difficult set of words to get out of your mouth. It's really not. This is the wrong way. Look at that. Look at me, successfully managing to mess up going up and down stairs. In my defense, it's a very MC Escher style of stairs. I wouldn't be surprised if I went down these and somehow ended up at the top of the building again, coming in at a 90-degree angle to the way I thought gravity worked, you know what I mean? The whole thing is just a bit not right, innit? A bit not right. There's like weird reflections on it as well. It's like you can see like something shifting under the surface almost. Very upsetting. Right, we save here. May as well overwrite that. There's never going to be a reality where we don't go up the polyhedron and come back down again after all that. I suppose there might have been if I just decided that this whole endeavour wasn't worth my time, but let's do that. And then do that. God, that's absolutely crushed my exhaustion. I wasn't expecting that. I knew it would hurt me. I knew it did health damage. I did not realise it fucked exhaustion that hard as well. Not a lot of time left in this day is the problem. So I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. I guess we'll find out.
There's buzzing in my ears.
Your son intends to make war. He's willing to let me inside, but he's asking for some army rifles. He will acquire them with or without your aid. If you don't help him, your counterparts will, or someone else. Bring him what he asks, but make sure not to use the weapons and not to reveal them to the soldiers until they attempt to climb the tower. And will they make such an attempt? I think they won't. What reason do they have? But it would be better to warn Alexander Block just in case. Incidentally, have you already talked to him? Yes. What kind of impression did he leave on you? A terrifying man, a dangerous adversary. I'd rather not make enemies of people like him. Okay, I mean, I guess maybe Block will provide us with the rifles if we can talk him round. It seems unlikely, considering we're getting the rifles to be used against him. But like, I other than go and speak to Block, I've not really had any other leads on this quest, and yeah, I don't really know who else is likely to have a large amount of rifles, in all honesty. So it seems like my best bet. I will just speak to Maria first quickly though, just in case.
Changeling remind.
Okay, she's got nothing. She ain't got shit for me. Right, we'll go to Block then, see what he has to say on the matter. If there's no obviously coming from him, then we're just gonna have to give up on this whole rifle business because, seriously, seriously though. So we'll head to the termitary after that, just see if there's anything we can do over there. We were just meant to be asking around the termitary about Barack, weren't we? That's all that we were heading there for. It wasn't anything like, it wasn't any like clear-cut goal. It was just like find out what you can about what Barack's been up to, sort of thing. I think, anyway. I'm willing to be wrong, but I quite often am. Where are we going? Town Hall. That's just ahead of me. Cool. I don't know if I've tried this shop here today. I'm permanently concerned about running out of food, so just on the off chance that there's something good to eat in here. There is a lemon. I think we established last time that this guy was only selling a single solitary lemon, but now we've confirmed it. 100%, unequivocally, that man is a lemon merchant. And that feels like it should be like a slur. You know what I mean? It feels like the term lemon merchant should be like some archaic insult used in some like horrific way against gay people or something. Do you not think? Is it just me who thinks that? Is that just my brain? How my brain works particularly? Have a bullet. I will trade a peanut for a bullet. You know what? I don't have enough stuff to get another Schmauder now anyway. It seems unlikely I'm going to. So, I've gone the wrong way. That wasn't how that sentence was originally meant to end, but it had to pivot halfway through because something truly heinous happened. Something completely unforgivable happened. I went forward when I should have gone left. How will I ever forgive myself? This is the town hall, isn't it? We just have to loop round. Why do you have a pet rat? My dude. My dude, why are you just hanging out with a rat? You just like nibbling on your ankle flesh and you were too out of it to realise. Or is this some sort of Pied Piper business? Just here to lure the kids away. Hello. You're kind of really tall as well. I don't think you're quite as tall as Reuben, but you're pretty tall.
Those lazy bastards.
I need a few rifles. What for? Personal needs. No, I do not understand. What kind of needs? Think you trust me? Perhaps I could make an exception and issue firearms to a civilian, but in order to do so I'd need to know exactly what they were going to be used for. Self-defense. For self-defense, I am willing, out of deepest respect, to issue 1 rifle and 3 clips to you personally. May I have 2 rifles? Are you hiding something from me? No. In any case, I can't do 2. Well, that is a pity. I will take 1, though. I'm not going to give it to the kids, because there's no way in hell I'm finding 4 more, but I will take 1. Got me a rifle. Probably end up selling it, honestly. Although, again, not really short on money, so maybe I won't. Maybe I will hold on to it. I imagine it's probably more useful than the pistol, right? He gave me quite a bit of ammo. Was it 10 bullets he gave me? I don't know if I'd said they were for the kids. He might have given me 5. But I feel like it would have taken some convincing, right? If I was honest about that. Like, you go to a general in the army and be like, hey, I want to arm some children. Can you give me 5 rifles so that I can put them in the hands of 8-year-olds? Is that cool? I mean, you know, maybe he's American. Maybe that's just his idea of a good time, you know, but I feel like far more likely he would have just said no. Very annoying that guy had bandages and shit for trade, but unfortunately I did not have enough water to meet his needs. He drives a hard bargain, that man. Oh, I can never get through here without getting horribly infected, can I? But such is life. Just like I can never kill a rat in one swing. There's gonna be a lot of gas around here. Oh, actually, is this area clean now? I think this area is clean. Huh. I was convinced it was still infected around here. I'll take it. I'll take it. Free passage. There is an infection flag there, so presumably south of here is infected. Yeah, but this area is actually perfectly fine. That's cool. Happy with that. Let's go. This is going to be an interesting fight. I mean, I've got a rat to deal with, so I can't really watch it, but The man is like... Okay, that was super dangerous. I don't know why I did that. I think I might have got the kill though. I heard the clapping. Cool. But yeah, this guy is like an actual machine. He's completely immune to fire, I'm pretty certain, in that hazmat suit. And this guy's just stood in lobbing Molotov cocktails at him, just like, no, get back, stay away. That's some Terminator shit. I can't believe I got away with, like, I must have been about half an inch outside the range of that flamethrower when he blasted that dude though. That was so risky. It's possible it hit me actually. How's my health looking? No, it didn't. If it did, it hit me for 1 tick, and that's nothing from a flamethrower realistically. See what Tyre has to say. There's not going to be anyone else in here who has any particularly interesting goss to share. Was it in here that those worms were hanging out? Oh! Well, well, well. Hello.
A commander like this belongs to the front line. Who sent him on this inglorious errand?
I hate the way his mouth moves. Look at him grinding his jaw. It's nice that you've survived, not arrived, going on. Aglaya Lilac has lost track of you. She asked me to tell you she was worried. I have nothing to offer her for now. Tell her that I have descended underground. I've met with Foreman Oyun. So far, he refuses to tell me what I want to hear. I don't like his riddles and half-truths. I have a suspicion that he's a villain. Are you going to go there again? Yes, of course. Through that abyss lies my only way back. Can you find something out for me? This is very important because obviously I won't ever get inside. Do you need that to beat the epidemic? They told me that was the only reason you went underground yesterday. That's right. Then speak, Oinon. In this we're on the same side. I'm sure the bacteria has a mineral origin. The origin might be connected to the history of this place. If that is so, then it's very bad. Why? That means the disease is dissolved in the ground, everywhere, under our feet. No, Vlad the Younger claims otherwise. I suspect there is a sort of shaft or cavern under one of the buildings here, some spot where this filth has built up. I see. I found out what I can, Oinon. Your words have guided me to an interesting idea. I hope to see you shortly. Prospect is determined to carry on. He wants to be left alone. He will notify me himself. All the best. I'd better return to my own research without him prowling around. Why did he give the Inquisitor the attitude, though? Would he be as daring if she was stood right here next to him? Okay. I guess we leave him to it then. Maybe he'll have more to say to us tomorrow, or he'll send us another letter later today or something. I do feel like I may as well speak to Taya while I'm here, though. Like, I don't think I'm going to get anything out of her. That was clearly what we were here for. But, why not? You know, while we're right next to someone and there aren't really any barriers to keep us from talking to them, why not stop for a chat? You know, stop in for a little chinwag with a little lady.
Yes?
Okay. Why does everyone just have a terrible headache? If they have nothing else to say, they're just like, hey, I've got a headache. Hey, have you heard about my headache? In an unbelievable twist of fate, I too have a headache. I assume that's something to do with the disease, right? It's like the early onset of it, possibly. Might be indicating that the person I'm speaking to is going to come down with the disease at some point. Come down with the sandpest, perhaps, in a day or two. Or it might just be, you know, just to set the tone, to establish that, hey, people are sick around here. It may have no actual mechanical purpose. Who knows? Who cares? Not me. I am done with my day's work. That was pretty easy. I got 3 quests, gave up on one of them after getting a free gun, didn't even touch the other one, and I guess I should probably return to Aglaya to report on what the Haruspex is up to, right? Just to polish off my day's tasks. So yeah, that was day 9, I guess. Probably just end up sleeping through the rest of it. I'd probably have enough exhaustion left in the tank to make it to Aglaya and report, and then I'll just sleep at a cane house or something. Although I don't think half of them have beds, do they? I know Maria does. I don't think either of the other two do. Victor just has his desk that he likes to pop up from behind as soon as you enter the building. Wacky individual that he is. And Georgi, I don't know, he might have a bed. Just forgot what a bed was for a second there, don't mind me. Maybe I have the sand pest. Okay, what's this? What's happening? Clara sent me a letter. I don't know, is that what that was? Yeah, I think that's what that was, right? Okay. I know you have been told that I'm a witch, not a saint. They may have even told you that I am the Sandpest itself, wearing the masquerade of flesh and blood. They certainly must have told you that I saved the castaway and condemn the ingenious. There we go, that's what that word was. They said that I break the courageous and force them to submit to the plague. But let me tell you one thing. Saints and miracle workers are always covered in blood and filth. Their acts are not necessarily comprehensible to the common folk who expect kindness instead of good and courtesy instead of love. This is not who I am. I know what will happen in 3 days. I will be able to avoid the contradictions that keep you and the Haruspecs in the dark. Remember, I will perform a miracle in the end. I will perform it with the help of the outcast and the evil, Bad Grief the thief, Foreman the villain, Alexander the cruel, Katerina the deceived, Lara the vengeful, Yulia the unbeliever, Anna the egotist, Aspati the heathen, and Reuben the oathbreaker. Reuben's fucking dead, man. They will survive in order... No, he won't. They will survive in order to die, and upon dying, they will claim life everlasting. I need them for the miracle to work. Remember that, Clara. Okay, so that was just basically her telling me who her bound are, so that I can maybe keep them alive in order to help her out, if that's something I'm into. I don't know, I'm heading to his bed. I'm not intending to use it.
What?
I was just interested to see if he had anything to say, honestly. Since passing through his household seems like a fairly safe thing to do. Is less likely to bump into angry knife-throwing men around here, aren't I? Okay, so there does seem to be a sort of like a general theme for each of the three characters. I didn't really put together... I just assumed the Changelings people were just whoever was left. But obviously, the Haruspecs looks after all the kids. The Bachelor looks after all the leaders and the wealthy. And the Changeling specifically seems to look after the people who are on the other side of the law. The sus. I really hope I don't die now. I've not saved in quite some time. Shall we save? Shall we save? Does that seem sensible? Actually haven't saved since leaving the polyhedron. I didn't realise that. Whoopsie. Whoopsie doodle. Yeah, that's interesting, because that means the Olgimskis and the Sabarovs... I don't know, actually was... Yeah, Katerina Sabarov was one of... Fucking hell, lad, calm down. Didn't think you'd do that. Katerina Sabarov was one of the Changelings people, but it doesn't look like... Alexander Sabarov, that's his name, right? The male Sabarov is on anyone's list, and neither is Big Vlad. I guess they're just... No one gives a shit about them. That's kind of unfortunate. I mean, they're both dicks, but like, it still just seems a bit harsh when pretty much every other named character in the game has someone watching their backs. I want to loot it. Stop squirming and die. Thank you. Disappointing that there wasn't even a single coin to be had there. Would have been nice. Holy shit, my exhaustion is high. What's the time? Fine, we've got plenty of time left. We're going to sleep now rather than go to the cathedral first. I don't want to start taking damage from exhaustion. Plus, this is a really nice bed. This is a really nice bed. Okay, so... What are we thinking? I'm thinking 3 Meridor. And 4 hours sleep. I actually didn't need that much Meridor there, did I? I completely went overkill on that. I didn't realise my health was still pretty good. I guess I did just bandage the shit out of myself not so long ago. It's fine, we'll just accept it. I could load and only use 1 or 2 instead, but who cares, right? Who cares? We can get more. Says the overconfident man, but you know, like it's going to be day 10 soon. We're actually nearing the home straight. Obviously, the game gets rough around this time, but I think I've got enough supplies. Like, food is the only one I'm really concerned about. I think I might need a bit more of that, but for the most part, I don't think I'm going to struggle. That might be blind optimism here. I might struggle to get the quest done and stuff, but like,
No.
as far as just surviving, I
He
think I'm going to be
hates us
fine.
already. He'll raise us to the ground and kick his own grave before going down.
Okay. Power can take very different shapes. I found Barak and relayed your request to him. What did he say? He said he has nothing to tell you for now. He's going underground, drawn by the echoes of some events connected to his father's death. Oh, how untimely. We might have to resort to using a blind pawn. Yes, I'll give the changeling a chance. It could go well. I'm grateful to you, Dankovsky, and deeply indebted. My errand must have cost you dearly. Obviously, I'm almost broke. Hey, 7,000 big ones just for walking across town and back. I do not mind if I fucking do. That is nice. Look, we've peaked. We're over 60k now. I'm just hoarding wealth at this point. I'm just becoming a 1%er in this game. I don't even need it. Like, there's not enough food to buy from the shops to require that much money, but what can I say? I'm a wealthy fucker. I mean, it is... No, we've got an hour and 10. It's not going to happen. I was thinking I could go to Bad Grief and just see if I could buy 4 rifles off him with the money I have. I don't think I could afford it anyway. I think they're pretty fucking expensive. And I just don't think I've got time to get there and back, honestly. But... also, you know, he probably doesn't have 4 rifles in stock, so, like, it's a pretty hopeless idea to begin with. But what do we do now? We've literally just slept. There's no point sleeping again. That would just be a waste of time. Do a bit of eating, I suppose. You know what, I'm going to eat those crackers as well. They're just taking up inventory space. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So yeah, we just need to sort of wait till morning again now. Seems to be something I end up doing quite a lot in this game at this point. I don't really want to do it in a plague area though. Honestly. Maybe we find somewhere a bit cleaner to hang out. I'm actually intrigued because I assume either at 12 or at 7, I still haven't really worked out which, the plague areas shuffle around, right? So I assume it will just happen in front of my eyes. If I'm just in a plague area and the time hits, will the plague just vanish? I'm surprised it's never happened to me before. Like, I'm surprised that's not something I've witnessed just accidentally, because it seems like I'm usually somewhere at that time. And you think that area might change in front of me. It's possible that they said it so that the area doesn't change until you leave it, though. Right? Or until you go into a building and come out again or something. Which would be, you know, the more sensible way of doing it. But this is Pathologic we're talking about, and, you know, no offense to the game, but it is very, very shoestring budgety. There's a lot of stuff that, like, a bigger budget game would possibly have done better. Would definitely have found less jarring ways to set up. And I'm not talking about its game design here, because its game design is obviously intentionally obtuse, but just like some of the shit that goes on with it, you know, it does just sort of. What did I just do? There we go. New save. I lost my train of thought there because of struggling to save the game, but it's fine. I wasn't really that dedicated to that train of thought anyway, to be honest with you. I didn't really care about it. It was a pointless thread to continue pulling on, so instead we're going to think of something else to talk about. Hold on, I'm thinking. Hang on, I'm getting there. This is going to be a really interesting conversation topic. Don't you worry. You're going to be spellbound by the sheer intelligence and wittiness on display from the next thing that I bring up. Just you wait. Just you wait. It's coming. It's coming. If I try really hard, if I really put my mind to it, I'll be able to fill this dead air with nothing but pure intellectual fulfillment for everyone listening. How about them video games? Oh man, there's so many video games out that like I'm cautiously interested in. So many. Like, I've made it very clear in the past that I'm not like well, let me rephrase this. I'm a very big Zelda fan, but I'm not a big Breath of the Wild fan, right? A lot of the changes to the core Zelda gameplay that happened in Breath of the Wild were not to my taste. I'm not an open world guy. I didn't like the durability mechanics. Honestly, those were the two major sticking points for me. I also just didn't really like that there weren't like proper dungeons or like any like strict feeling of character growth. You know what I mean? Like you could get more hearts and more stamina or whatever, but I liked how as you progress through other Zelda games, you unlock new items and new skills and, you know, all that sort of business, but you sort of get front loaded with everything in Breath of the Wild, which I wasn't a fan of. It just sort of felt like, here's the stuff you've got, don't look forward to anything new or exciting from here on out, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad game by any stretch. Like I enjoyed, I played through Breath of the Wild and I enjoyed it. But I didn't buy into the hype, let's say. It was fine, and that's about all I'm willing to give it. Whereas games like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds, you know, all these games I think are absolutely fucking stellar, and some of my favourite games of all time, you know. So in a series that has so many of my favourite games of all time, it is a shame, Link's Awakening as well, it is a shame to see the entire franchise take a turn in a direction that I'm not super cool with.
The most pressing endeavours of the day were fulfilled at the expense of several lives of your bound. A mime performance at the theatre will feature today's events.
Lives of my bound? Oh. What happened to Petey? Was he plagued yesterday? Did I just not notice? I mean, we can still cure him, right? If we just go to the house and bring him a schmowder, he'll be fine. Whatever. Anyway, back on the Zelda. Fine, we will engage with the video game we're playing instead of talking about a completely separate one. Fine, if you insist. I've been thinking about what I learned, and I think I could use your advice. Or, putting it bluntly, it would help me if you agreed to conduct a detailed inspection of the tower. I trust the construction was brought to your attention before, one way or another. If you have indeed established that the walls of the tower provide effective isolation from the disease, why didn't you elaborate on this possible solution? If you have found that the construction is too unstable, then why didn't you evacuate the children? I'm looking forward to hearing your opinion on the matter tomorrow. Alright, we'll talk about it tomorrow then, that's fine. I mean, it might be another shot of me getting in the tower. It seems like that's what the game is trying to get me to do at the moment, but the requirements for doing so yesterday were kind of beyond me. Yeah, anyway, so general feelings is that I was not immediately sold on Tears of the Kingdom, right? It seems like here's some more Breath of the Wild, which, you know, for the people who love Breath of the Wild, that's great. I'm happy for them, right? But it's not a game that is necessarily going to make me rush out and spend 70 quid on it, you know what I mean? But looking at it, I don't know, I think it could be fun. Like, the mechanics with, like, welding stuff together and stuff. I think that could be fun to mess around with, and it does seem like they have improved in some of the areas, like in the level design and stuff. Like they've made some more sort of structured linear areas as opposed to Breath of the Wild's sheer openness. So that it does look like it might be a bit more for me. So I might end up picking that one up at some point.
My orders were to destroy every building in this town and then to shoot everyone who survives the bombardment. The military only comes when there's nothing to fix anymore. I'm keen on breaking that habit, though. I know that the people that can change the course of the catastrophe have been working here for some time. We will only destroy the thing pointed at by a healer who can argue in favor of taking such action.
How about not shooting at all?
If we don't shoot anything at all, the consequences will be devastating. You wanted freedom of choice. So choose a massive shelling or a single pinpoint strike. One way or another, we'll put an end to this circus.
See, this is where the dividing line gets drawn. Haruspex wants the single pinpoint strike. He wants to blow up the polyhedron because he thinks that that has some sort of spiritual source of the infection. The Changeling presumably wants nothing blown up, which is, you know, fairly sensible if you ask me, but the Monsieur Dankovsky, through our actions over the next 2 days, is presumably going to come to the decision that the polyhedron needs to be protected because that's where the kids are and where the, you know, the children of the future and all that. And instead, the rest of the town should just be fucking wiped off the map and built anew from the ashes. I can't wait to see how we come to that conclusion. Should be interesting. Hello. No, not... You're not seeing this, by the way, but if I accidentally click load and then press escape to back out, the game minimizes itself and then reopens itself again in like a second, and it always throws me off guard every single time. I just need to get better at not clicking the complete wrong button, I guess, but you know what it's not something I'm prepared for ever. Oh, fuck. Good thing I saved, eh? Good thing I saved. But yeah, as I say, Tears of the Kingdom does look interesting at least. I mean, I'm going to be tragically offline for about 2 weeks in a couple of days once I move house and I'm in a place with zero internet connection until I can get an engineer out to set it up. So I might pick up Tears of the Kingdom to play with in my spare time while I'm awaiting. However, there are some other games that I'm intrigued by. I mean, I know it's not considered to be a very ethical purchasing choice these days, but that Atomic Heart looked really cool. I'm a big Bioshock fan, and Atomic Heart did really like do it for me. It gave me similar vibes to Bioshock, so I was pretty intrigued by that. And then on top of that, like my dude Diablo 4 came out. Don't know if you noticed that. I don't know why it's always online. I'm a bit triggered by that and the fact that it has like a battle pass and shit. Like, there's a lot again of sort of ethical Blizzard shit going on with that game. But I'm a big Diablo 2 fan, man, and Diablo 4 does look like it might press all the right buttons that Diablo 3 didn't for me. And then on top of that, apparently there's like a new Final Fantasy coming out. Final Fantasy 16 is like out soon, which is a game that I was just assuming was fucking years out yet. Like I assumed that was not going to be seen for until at least next year, right? Because it seemed like it was a really big gap between 13 and 15, and now 16 has come along a lot quicker than I expected, especially considering the 7 remake's been out in between as well. I don't know, maybe it's just I'm getting older and not realizing how long time is happening. But yeah, 16's out soon, and again, I've not been super keen on some of the changes that Final Fantasy's gone through more recently. I'm a big fan of the like PlayStation 1 ones. But That could be something. That could be a thing. And then there's Starfield, there's the new Dragon Age Inquisition game, like not Dragon Age Inquisition, Dragon Age game, I should say, Dragon Age 4, Wolf Blood or something it's called, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening in the AAA sphere right now that's actually getting my attention, which is rare, because I'm normally such an indie nerd, you know what I mean?
I slept for 3 nights in a row. I don't think I'll manage another one.
Bachelor, I would like you to explain a certain important point to me. You have a close relationship to the Canes, do you not? I'm quite fond of the Canes. The Canes will help us, if they are capable of anything at all, that is, to gather the necessary documents concerning that unusual structure, the polyhedron. What happened to them, by the way? I don't know if something has happened, but something could happen any time now. They're a remarkable lot, you know. They have some remarkable family rites. They have this tradition for, I think, commemorating the dead, where they shut themselves in and refuse to allow absolutely anyone to communicate with them. So it would be reasonable to speak with them about the tower before they set about their family tradition. Basically, yes, if you're too late, communication could become quite difficult. That I know from experience, although I doubt they will tell us what they really want to know about the tower. Just speaking with them is enough. I need documents. I understand. Basically, I need to know what the structure is. I need all documents pertaining to that building. There's probably a connection between its fantastic form and the fantastic events that have taken place. What could those blueprints be? The Canes surely must know something. The blueprints are drawn all over the building itself. Have you not looked down? The Canes surely know everything. Maybe they keep copies of the blueprints. After all, that Chimera was built under their patronage. Let them be the ones to make excuses now. I don't think so. The structure is a project of Peter Stamatin's wild imagination. I'll speak with him. Yeah, presumably, right? Yeah, we speak to Peter Stamatin, which is going to be difficult because he is plagued, but thankfully we came prepared for such an eventuality, did we not? Look at me, stocking up in advance. A shame to blow through one of my schmouders before day 12 ticks round, but yeah. Where did that rat go? What was this fucking teleports behind you and cuts you in half with his katana bullshit? Like what just happened? I swear that rat went behind like a, I can't even remember what it went behind. It went behind a piece of scenery. And then suddenly it was behind me. I was not prepared for that. It was a powerful ass rat, man. Right, okay, so we are now approaching the usual end of video time, and I think that's probably going to take me a while to walk across town and speak to Peter, so maybe we will wrap up here. As far as future videos are concerned, I'm going to try and put one out either tomorrow or Tuesday, and then it's going to be probably pretty dead for a couple of weeks while I get my internet set up in my new place, so don't expect me for a bit. Look at that Zed fighting, isn't that cool? I stopped doing it now, I got close. So yeah, apologise if all goes silent, and it will. But in the meantime, have a wonderful couple of weeks, in case I don't get another video out before then, and I'll see you around. Bye for now.